Madrano is one of the most influential online animators of today. Starting her YouTube channel in 2012 as she was attending the New York School of Visual Arts, she would later go on to create and found her own animation studio known as Spindlehorse. It's with this company that she would create a pilot episode for her own passionate project original show, Hazbin Hotel. A show about Lucifer's daughter being this extremely optimistic and kind person who sought out to give rehabilitation and redeem sinners who are in hell so that they may one day go to heaven. In 2019, this pilot would be created to monumental praise. But a month later, another pilot for a second show, a spin-off of Hazbin Hotel, would release as well. A pilot for a show titled Helluva Boss, a series about a group of assassins and the boss of said group of assassins dealing with his love life. Both of these shows would release simultaneously, with both shows having 2 seasons each with more on the way. The shows take place in the exact same universe, legit just down the street from each other, and would be so successful that they are both now just mainline TV shows that air on Amazon Prime. Vivziepop has had a lot of history behind her, going from the shows themselves to more controversies than you can count. That is why I am here today, my cheeky little good boys, to bring you through the Vivziepop Iceberg chart. I went and wrote down every single thing relating to Helluva Boss, Hazbin Hotel, and Vivziepop herself that I thought was even remotely interesting and constructed this big-ass list. So kick back and relax as we journey through hell with the Vivziepop Iceberg chart. If written by Vivziepop. If blank was written by Vivziepop was a meme that circulated on YouTube and Twitter. The meme itself pokes fun at the fact that the writing in her 2 shows have a hilariously distracting amount of swear words, which technically also isn't really an exaggeration because there are some scenes in her shows where characters will literally say fuck unironically 3 times a sentence, or at least say fuck once a sentence during conversations.
Christ on a stick, ass, fucking fuck shit, fuckers, fuck titty, fucking fuck! You are not fucking killing us over that stupid deer!
It's over, you dumb fuck!
Fuck that! This is my moment! My fucking destiny! I'm a fucking god! You wanna fucking go, ma'am?
You're just pissy. Nobody wants to fuck with a flaming pile of clown shit. Also, suck a dick.
Why don't you pass on back to your mutt, bitch?
Why don't you keep fucking yourself, you big asshole?
The meme got its start when this video posted by Megachan was released onto Twitter, where he took the intro scene to The Amazing Digital Circus and filled it with as many swear words and sexual references as possible, kickstarting the whole meme of what if this was written by Vivziepop.
Welcome to the goddamn digital circus. My name is Kane. I am your bitch, and I'm here to show you the most horny, sex-appealing, pornographic imagery you've ever laid your eyes upon. Is that right, Bubble?
That's right, bitch! Suck me off until you're fucking dead!
Fuck. Hold on, bitch.
Verbalace. Verbalace is a YouTube creator that makes content of characters beatboxing in beatbox battles. However, Homeboy has a huge fixation and I guess crush on the Hazbin character Charlie Morningstar. The extent of it would be proven when he would commission an animator $50,000 to create an animation of Charlie chasing him down, Chip Skylark style. The video blew up pretty much the moment it released, and the video itself isn't even like not safe for work or anything. It's just like a video of Charlie thirsting over him. So it's just like, what was the gain here? Black Griffin, we are coming out swinging in this first layer, bro. But the Black Griffin drama is a controversial piece of Hazbin controversy, I guess, that I've seen people speculate on just how strange it really is, because a lot of it comes down to opinions. By the way, this isn't everything that happened. This is just like a general, like, TLDR of the whole situation. There's a lot more information in this that I'm not going to discuss just because this event was so big and so complicated, so just this is just like a little sum up, I guess. Black Griffin is a YouTube channel known for his music and impression videos, so much so that he would become the singing voice of Alistair in the pilot of Hazbin. Now, this is where shit gets strange. I'm also not taking any sides in this whole endeavor, I'm just the messenger here. People would accuse Black Griffin of grooming his now wife Claire. 3 inches in, we're talking about grooming. Black Griffin, or Gabe, would befriend a 13-year-old girl when he was 23. Obviously, what the fuck? However, both Gabe and Claire herself would say that their friendship was just that, a friendship. When Claire would later turn 20, she would ask Gabe out, of which he then agreed. And the two of them are now married. So it just brings up the discussion that this relationship is, and supposedly always was, fully legal, and was just morally fucked. Because even if everything truly was innocent, which they both say it was, why the hell is dude 23 hanging out with somebody who barely hit puberty 6 months ago? It's bizarre and gross, but according to Claire herself, not illegal. As well as just the fact that an anonymous Twitter user came out to say that they also were groomed by Black Griffin, so kinda adds fuel to the fire. The guy's obviously a creep and a freak, but a criminal, not technically. Just a fucking strange-ass guy. Regardless, Gabe would also be seen on Twitter liking a lot of offensive and racist tweets, pretty much solidifying that ain't nobody wants anything to do with him. Which is even more so when the guy pretty much refuses to let his 45 seconds of voicing Alistair go by, since he constantly, to this day, makes songs and content about Alistair, even confusing some fans into thinking that the songs are canon due to it showing Alistair's backstory. Hazbin actor replacement. When Hazbin Hotel went from a pilot uploaded onto YouTube to a full-on Amazon Prime show, the announcement was made that every single voice of the characters in the pilot would not return for the actual official show. This very much upset fans, especially from Angel Dust, who is voiced by a huge player in the indie scene, Michael Kovac. You may recognize him as Jax in Digital Circus. This would lead to some accusations of Vivziepop using some of her smaller scale friends and colleagues as nothing more than a means to an end. These were later pretty much disproven, as they never signed to be on a full show and were really just brought on for the pilot. Plus, giving the actual characters official Broadway performers just made more sense long term. Queen Bee delay. The season 1 finale of Helluva Boss was intended to be a 2-parter, but the second part, titled Queen Bee, would be indefinitely postponed due to legal reasons outside of Spindlehorse's control. This was due to music artist Kesha playing a main character, so it ended up just causing a whole bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. The show would continue on without this second part ever coming out, before it was just randomly dropped onto YouTube during the airing of season 2, which ended up being a bit disappointing. Still good, just disappointing, as this fabled lost second part was pretty much just a character introduction to Beelzebub and was like a quarter just a song. Unhappy Campers. Unhappy Campers is the 5th episode of Helluva Boss season 2. It is also majorly believed to be the worst episode of the show, which I can also fully agree with. The plot is about Blitz leaving to track down his sister, so he leaves Moxie and Millie in charge for a new assassination hit that they receive. However, the entire episode completely destroys Moxie's character, as he is immediately rude, self-centered, egotistical, and does an annoying fake girl voice the entire episode. It hardly even pays off. The entire Blitz's sister plotline features one of the worst songs in the series, and was also released directly after a major cliffhanger involving Stolas in the hospital. This episode sucks. Zoophobia. Zoophobia is a comic series planned by Vivziepop before her official mainline work on Hazbin and Helluva began. The series is about a girl named Cameron who has an intense fear of animals, but is tricked into being a counselor at a school of animals, shapeshifters, and other just mythical creatures. It was in this series that some of the Hazbin cast was originally going to be making their first ever appearance. Most prominent of these being Alistair, who was first created and designed to be featured in Zoophobia before Vivziepop decided to separate the ideas entirely. During a Level Up Expo in 2026, Vivziepop would also make the news that Zoophobia would officially be coming back as an animated mini-series that is currently in the works. Die Young. In 2024, Vivziepop would create this animation to be played to the song Die Young by Kesha. The animated music video blew up majorly in popularity, and would even be how some fans discovered Vivziepop. However, the video itself would go unlisted and unwatchable unwatchable from her channel, before years later being privated instead. It's unknown if the music video will ever be made public again, and the only way to view it today is just via other people's re-uploads. Addict. Before Hazbin Hotel would become an official show, a fan song was created about angel dust that used his actual pilot voice actor, Michael Kovic, created in 2020 by Silverhound. The song itself became immediately noticed by Vivziepop herself, who would go on to bring that song to life with an official animation, where it became the most viewed video on her entire channel. Straight characters. If you've ever seen the shows, you'd notice that there are pretty much no straight characters, as everybody in the show is some version of LGBT. Even the angel characters were given canon sexualities that have yet to actually ever be brought up. However, the two shows combined do include 4 straight characters. Only 4. Adam, Millie, Nifty, and Abel. These are the only characters in the show combined to be confirmed straight. Katie Killjoy and Crimson are also most likely straight, but they've also never been confirmed. A. Lamau. A. Lamau is a creator on YouTube and TikTok who is one of the most reliable and up-to-date Helluverse content channels on YouTube, featuring videos about breakdowns, Easter eggs, discussions, and being pretty much damn near the best source of Helluverse news you'll ever see. If you're a fan of the Helluverse or Vivziepop in any way, A. Lamau is pretty much a required subscribe. Rue. Rue is said to be the ultimate big bad of the Helluverse, as she is the root of all evil. Nothing really exists of her physically wise aside from just old concept art, but Vivziepop has confirmed on Twitter that Rue will make an official appearance in the show and have a large role, as it was confirmed that Rue's lines were recorded. It's also assumed that when you watch the show, you may notice a large amount of eyes all over the walls and background. These are speculated to be Rue herself watching the characters, as Vivzie also describes Rue as being a looming threat, just watching and waiting. Homestuck pilot. It was revealed in 2025 that Vivziepop's Australian division of her studio Spindlehorse, Spindle Rue, was going to be creating an animated series based off of the webcomic Homestuck. In September of that year, the pilot of the show was released to a very mixed reception. Homestuck fans were worried due to the pilot itself being an overly fast-paced, confusing mess that offered virtually no information about what the show was even about, as well as the characters in the pilot feeling and acting very out of character from their original webcomic versions. However, since this is just a pilot, we can't really form any concrete evidence or final thoughts on this being a judgment of what the show itself will be like. Angel Dust S.A. The 4th episode of Hazbin Hotel received a lot of controversy and discussion over the portrayal of S.A. featured in the episode, with those offended claiming that the episode glamorized S.A. and couldn't pick a line on it. What I mean by that is that you would have a serious scene where a character is literally forced by contract to submit sex acts, while also being abused in the process. And in the next scene, a character is just being forced into sex as a comedic joke. This and just the overall nature of the Angel Dust episode comes off to some fans as offensive, as it isn't picking a stance, just showing you a character's trauma for the sake of it. This one is just kind of up to your own speculation and interpretation of it, as it is just kind of up to opinion really on this one. Full Moon Disappointment. When the episode titles for the second half of season 2 of Helluva Boss were announced, one stuck out majorly. The first episode, Full Moon. This episode was extreme hype, since the title itself alluded to the fact that it would be an entire episode based around Stolitz, and was going to be this potentially extremely sad, brutal, gut-wrenching, and just overall important episode to the show, even with the thumbnail of the episode literally being Blitz and Stolitz. However, when the episode itself officially released, the entire Stolitz side of the episode was designated to just being the B-plot of the episode, with the main focus being about the Churubs, the most least favorite villains of the show by a mile, with the actual Stolitz stuff not even happening until the final minutes of the episode. Just a huge disappointment all around. The original Blitz plush. This is just a silly one. When the character Blitz was first put into plushie form, it looked a bit cursed. So much so that it became a small meme and joke in the community, and even makes a cameo appearance in the episode Apology Tour. Katie Killjoy voice. When the pilot voice actors for Hazbin were all going to be replaced, one of the changes stood out very strangely, and that was the news anchor character Katie Killjoy, who is voiced by Faye Mata in the pilot. However, when the show was becoming official, Katie Killjoy's voice would be replaced with Brandon Rogers, good friend of Vivziepop and the voice of Blitz. While it was cool to see that Brandon Rogers had a role in Hazbin, some fans found it strange that he was given to just a female character who also just sounded completely 180 different than he did in the pilot.
Katie Killjoy. I'd say it's a pleasure to meet you, but that would be a lie. You can put that away. I don't touch the gays. Look, my time is money, so I'll keep this short.
I'd like to remind you that Heaven still hasn't made their next move. Are they coming back for revenge, or is this yearly nightmare finally over?
Vivziepop would state that the reason to bring Brandon in was that Katie Killjoy herself was inspired by Brandon Rogers' original character, Bryce Tank Thrust.
Hello, gorgeous. I'm Bryce Tank Thrust, business mogul, former president, and sex icon. Make it look tight. But just because I have standards doesn't mean I can't be an ally. They keep adding letters, but I keep adding tolerance. My precious acronym!
Visago cameo. In the Hazbin Hotel pilot, as Vaggie is giving the backstory on Alistair, it shows a list of various overlords that all rule hell. One of these is actually Visago from Helluva Boss, the Carmine Rifle. This is another simple one, but in the Helluva Boss episode, the Harvest Moon Festival, Carmilla Carmine from Hazbin is quickly name-dropped when Moxie finds a rifle made with angelic steel built by Carmine herself.
Genuine Carmine crafted blessing-tipped rifle.
Criminy. Criminy is the character that is planned to have a major role in a future season of Hazbin Hotel. The character Criminy is described as being the kid of the group and has the vibe of a just like 90s punk rock style. She was originally going to be in Vivziepop's Zoophobia, but was later moved over to Hazbin, which she has yet to make any official appearances aside from one quick cameo in the show's pilot. Criminy is planned to have a large relationship with Husk, as the two of them are described to have a father and daughter type of relationship with each other. Travis, as of now, is one of, if not the only character in the Helluverse to make a physical appearance in both shows. Travis is seen in both seasons of Hazbin Hotel, the Hazbin pilot, and makes several cameos in the Addict music video, along with a quick blink and you'll miss it moment in Helluva Boss's episode Spring Broken, Angel Dust poster. In the Helluva Boss episode Aussies, a poster for Angel Dust can be seen on the wall in an alleyway. And since we're just like on this little topic of crossover character cameos, I'm also going to mention right here the references to the other 7 deadly sins that could be seen in Lucifer's bedroom and Hazbin season 2. Just kind of just lump that in here so I just know that I do include that somewhere here. Anti-subreddits. Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss have a very loud hater fan base around them, with people not liking the shows to such a degree that they create and participate in anti-Helluverse subreddits, where they can all come together to diss and hate on the show that they supposedly don't watch. Listen, I can respect the amount of petty here, but engaging in subreddits about a show that you either don't like or haven't seen is just a whole new level of goofy goober ass activities. Blitz vs. Grandpa. Blitz vs. Grandpa is an incredibly famous and well-made short film created by Blitz's voice actor Brandon Rogers, and just a lot happens.
3 knocks.
Oh my god! Hello, old.
Oh my god.
Hold still, motherfucker!
That's why no one likes possums. He's fighting. Better get back or face my pill attack.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit!
Susan's death. The character Susan from Hazbin Hotel plays a very large role in one of the episodes in season 1, but she does not make an appearance at all in season 2. This is because she died during the final battle of season 1. As Alistair sits on a bench, we can see that the bench itself is in honor of Susan, wishing that she would die again. the Human Alistair leak. During the build-up to the Season 2 episode of Hazbin Hotel that was going to feature and reveal what Human Alistair looked like, Hot Topic accidentally leaked the design before the episode could officially release, showing merch that contained Human Alistair in their person and online stores, spoiling it early. The Weird Al collab. In Weird Al Yankovic's Polkamania music video, he would actually commission Vivziepop and her team at Spindlehorse to animate a segment of the song. The song in question is Weird Al's polka take on Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo, Charlie's contact list. Whenever Charlie pulls out her phone, you can almost always see her contact list, which contains many references and Easter eggs. Some examples of this include Amon, a demon known to cause and settle various disputes, Azazel, a fallen angel who is credited as giving humanity forbidden knowledge like witchcraft, Belphegor, Asmodeus, Leviathan, and Mammon, all 7 deadly sins that were shown in Helluva Boss, Sihirith, probably fumbled that, a Welsh folklore spirit that lets out a loud moaning noise whenever a Welsh person is about to die, along with just Vivziepop herself. Helluva Post. In the first episode of Hazbin Hotel, Charlie grabs onto a mail truck that reads Helluva Post. This is obviously a reference to
The Sopranos.
But what makes it even more interesting is that whenever you buy official Helluverse merch off a Shark Robot, it's shipped to you via Helluva Post Instagram accounts. In 2020, members of the Spindlehorse team decided to have a bit of fun by making real Instagram accounts that were from the characters in the shows. These Instagram accounts would just post fun little quirky images from the perspective of the characters, but this ended up having a much more negative consequence to it than what was believed to happen. When Octavia's Instagram account was shut down due to it receiving many DMs that contain a lot of not safe for work material, as well as Cherry Bomb's account would just be randomly taken down. But when Cherry Bomb's account was taken down, it was then brought back up by a random user who would then steal that username and use it as an attempt to continue posting as Cherry, without any actual insight from Spindlehorse themselves. With the biggest blemish being that fans saw everything posted to these accounts as canon, making this whole Instagram fourth wall break idea results in simply just a big mess in every way. Penguin slurs. When the Helluva Boss short Mission Antarctica released, one of the jokes in the episodes were the villainous penguins saying slurs that we can't understand. This whole penguin slurs joke would end up being a part of a new merch drop that quickly received backlash on Twitter, claiming that the shirt and the entire joke itself is nothing more than just racism for the sake of racism used as a punchline, as well as just the overall idea of who the hell would wear a slurs shirt in public. MatPat's Hazbin theory. MatPat would create a film theory video about Hazbin Hotel, which, based on his own viewers, was well received, but to actual Hazbin fans, it was just unwatchable. Just by watching the video, it was pretty obvious that MatPat himself has never seen hardly anything from either show, and was just making a video on Hazbin solely because it's popular. He refers to Stolas as Solus, says that IMP stands for Immediate Murder Patrol, theorizes that Alistair is actually an inspiration of Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls, and that his radio voice is just completely random, as well as him claiming that IMP are Charlie's biggest threat, which if you've seen any hierarchy list or just watch the shows, you'll know that that's the farthest thing from possible, making the whole MatPat episode just kind of awkward because it was just very obvious that he just did it for the views. The FNAF Hazbin Wiki. When the Helluverse shows were at their beginnings in 2020, a Five Nights at Freddy's Discord server would all coordinate a raid on the Hazbin Hotel wiki page. They would attack the wiki by changing all of the images to dumb, funny memes, added characters, deleted pages, added new ones, and just destroyed the entire thing with FNAF memes and shitposts. Scott Cawthon drama. While on the topic of Five Nights at Freddy's, Vivziepop included herself in a drama about FNAF creator Scott Cawthon that would end up with her being doxxed. In 2020, it was revealed that Scott Cawthon made several donations to many right-wing associations and foundations. When a friend of Vivzie made a tweet dissing Scott for these said donations, Vivziepop would chime in to also diss Scott as well, which would cause her to be doxxed due to her just sharing her political beliefs. The golden rule of the internet is that you never reveal your political opinions, because whatever you say, you're fucked. Faustis. Faustis is a former visual illustrator on Hazbin Hotel who would come under some flack after, since being close friends with Viv, would reveal some lore tidbits about the show in her live streams. One of these was the claim that Alistair was aromantic asexual, which sparked major backlash against Faustis due to her claim that Vivziepop was scared to release that info due to fear of her own backlash. Vivziepop would then go on a live stream of her own where she would say that nothing should be considered canon unless it comes from her specifically. Faustis would then go on to private all of her past live streams. NTSG. NTSG is a YouTube channel that famously uploaded fake and misleading videos relating to Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss. NTSG would create videos that were made to look as official as possible, with the thumbnails in question being in the exact style of the actual episode's thumbnails, sometimes even using stolen art. When confronted about this, he made it perfectly clear that he doesn't give a damn and just still continues to post stolen art to this day. Fixing the characters. YouTube artist by the name of Mepity would stir up some bullshittery within the Hazbin fandom when they released a video titled Fixing the Characters from Hazbin Hotel, which she would later rename to simply Redesigning after receiving hate for the video. In the video itself, Mepity fixes the designs of Charlie, Vaggie, Angel, and Alistair. Her fixed Charlie pretty much looks exactly the same, but was just made taller. Vaggie was made thicker and given a bigger bow. Angel Dust looks the exact fucking same. And Alistair was completely butchered, giving him this ugly-ass green outfit that doesn't fit his character or personality at all. After the immense backlash that Mepity received, she would make a 38-minute video retry to follow up from her original video, where the first 20 minutes of the video was spent on the redesigns themselves and making new and better changes. The second 20 minutes of the video was spent with her talking to the camera and going on a 20-minute rant defending herself against the criticism that she received. Hazbin Season 2 leaks. During the build-up to Hazbin Hotel Season 2, a large amount of scenes and storyboard animatics with finished voice acting and all was leaked online, spoiling many major plot lines that are all coming in Season 2. It's not known how exactly these leaks were obtained, but almost the entirety of Season 2 was posted to sites like YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, etc. I remember when this happened, and I tried my best to dodge them, and it sucks too because these leaks were actually how I found out who owned Alistair's soul. Shit was brutal. Vivziepop's Twitter. This is more of a vague overall topic and not really one about any singular thing, but this entry refers to just the simple fact that Vivziepop used to have a huge problem on Twitter of just not doing a super good job at taking criticism, to the point where whenever you would have someone on Twitter complain about the Helluverse in pretty much any way, serious or joke, Vivziepop would almost always engage and throw herself in the ring with said users who range from just people giving actual critiques to just full-on hating for the sake of hating. Vivziepop would play along so much. It ended up giving her a bit of a bad look as she would create massive threads defending herself. The toxicity that she claims to have faced on Twitter ended up with her leaving Twitter and moving over to Blue Sky. Lackadaisy. This one, I cannot wrap my head around. When the indie show pilot Lackadaisy was first getting its true footing, Vivziepop and her team over at Spindlehorse would donate $5,000 to help fund the creation of Lackadaisy, and even give a wholesome message that indie creation is not a competition, and that she's excited to see what the Lackadaisy team cooks up. However, for some insane fucking reason, Lackadaisy team member named Z would shit-talk Vivziepop for donating to the show, starting off with a rude tweet that says, "Since Madrano couldn't be bothered to share the link to support the project, here it is." Followed up with another rude-ass diss at Vivzie by saying that all donations are appreciated. It's not about how rich you are. Z would, for some unknown reason, refuse to apologize for this insane take on a generous donation given to them by Spindlehorse. Not only this, but then it was later also revealed that Z was caught liking a series of transphobic tweets. And then, for yet another unknown reason, practically the entire team behind Lackadaisy all came to defend Z and went out of their way to block anyone who dissed them. This includes the actual creator of Lackadaisy herself, who blocked anyone who even dared to talk shit about them. The Lackadaisy team reached the immediate conclusion that the only reason that Vivziepop donated was for the clout and to be featured in the credits of Lackadaisy, where it was then revealed by Vivziepop herself that her donation to Lackadaisy was rejected and refunded back to her. The Lackadaisy team is literally literally so far up their own ass that they turned down a $5,000 donation for entirely no reason and then defended it on Twitter. Eddsworld cameo. In the Eddsworld episode Beaster Bunny, Vivziepop makes a brief cameo as a face painter, sharing her likeness as well as voice. Blitz also makes a cameo as one of the options for face painting. I wonder what the Eddsworld fandom would think if you made porn of this version of Vivziepop. Would they consider it fictional like everyone else? I'm not sure. Minecraft skins. Minecraft would make a collaboration with Spindlehorse and Minecraft YouTuber Log.zip.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
To create an official Helluva Boss Minecraft skin pack. A really neat idea that ultimately turned out just to be a bit disappointing due to many critiques that the skin themselves had, coming off as very low quality and just missing several textures. For example, the skins were very flat and included almost no 3D elements to them at all, looking like they just wrapped an image around a cube. Luna was missing the moon shape on her pants and for some reason is wearing a belt. Stolas' feathers are gone, and Blitz just looked like his original plushie for how cursed it is. Stolet's Pride Month breakup. This is just a cheeky fun one that I saw some people on Reddit discussing, so I wanted to include it. But this is in reference to the infamous Full Moon episode of the show, where the two gay protagonists of the show break up and have a major fight in an episode that released the exact moment that Pride Month started. Brutal. Vaggie vanishing. These next two entries are both just simple animation errors that aren't big deals by any means, but once you notice it, you can never unnotice it. But during the beginning of the song A Happy Day in Hell in episode 1 in Hazbin, Vaggie just straight up disappears. She just poof. Gone. Blitz missing mark. As well as this animation error in the Helluva Boss episode Sinsmiss, where as Blitz goes through this portal, he's missing his white scar on his face and is just entirely red. Neat. Seviathan.
Seviathan von Eldritch
is a character in Hazbin that we've never properly seen, but is featured in the background of some episodes in picture frames. It's revealed that Seviathan is actually Charlie's ex-boyfriend, who is rumored to one day make an actual appearance in Hazbin Hotel, Molly. The character Angel Dust actually has two siblings who both make cameo appearances, the first of which is Molly, a winter angel who is the twin sister to Angel Dust, who was born on the same day as him. But while her brother was sent to hell, she went to heaven, as she makes two non-speaking cameos in the show and most likely will play a larger role later down the line. Arachnus. The other of Angel's siblings is his older brother Arachnus, who is also in hell alongside Angel Dust, but has yet to make any actual official speaking appearances. Vivziepop did confirm in 2025 that they had found a voice for Arachnus, confirming that he will at one point make a genuine impact on the show later down the line. As of now, though, Arachnus has only made one canon cameo. In the season 1 finale of Hazbin, he can be seen looking up at the news broadcast, the Golden Fiddle. This is just a simple Easter egg, but during the Lucifer and Alistair song in the episode Dad Beat Dad, Lucifer can be seen playing a golden fiddle, a very obvious reference to the song The Devil Went Down to Georgia, where the devil is beaten in a fiddle playing contest and awards a southern boy named Johnny with a golden fiddle. I do not care what anyone says unless it is proven otherwise. I'm counting The Devil Went Down to Georgia as canon. I don't give a damn. It just hasn't happened yet because he still has the fiddle. Extermination Carnival game. A small Easter egg that I really don't hear people bring up very often is the fact that in the Helluva Boss episode Lululand, there's a carnival game about the extermination. I don't know why, but I've just never seen anyone bring this up before. Egg Boy numbers. One of the scrapped ideas when Hazbin Hotel went from pilot to show was with the Egg Boys. In the pilot, they were all numbered, and there was a lot of them, with the highest number one being damn near 1,000. Very similar vibes to the minions from Despicable Me. However, when the Egg Boys were brought over to the official show, only 5 of them remained consistently, and the numbers on their backs were also dropped. Definitely a good call, in my opinion. Rocky Raccoon. Rocky Raccoon is a YouTube animator famous for his videos about the Helluverse. However, Rocky would be a pretty obvious clickbait content farm channel, as his animations would prominently feature the female Helluverse characters dancing to TikTok trends or songs, and would also be re-uploaded over and over and over again, but with different captions and very brain rot centric titles, one of which being a video about Vor. Yup, unknown figure. When Helluva Boss Mission 0 was released, it was given this new iconic image to go with it. However, at pretty much the center point of it all was this random mystery character villain who has never made an appearance yet. Nobody knows who this character is, but a possibility on the identity of this villain is derived due to the fact that they are obviously a Goetia, and that this is actually Octavia, who may go villain against MIP for essentially taking her father away. This is also just entirely speculation, as there is no true answer on who this character is as of the time of writing this video, but I'm calling it now. This is Octavia. Come back to this video when it's announced and tell me if I'm stupid or smart. Radio Apple merch. The shipping name for Alistair and Lucifer is known by fans as Radio Apple. Imagine I just ended it there. In 2024, Vivziepop's YouTube channel would make a community post to promote a new wave of Lucifer and Alistair themed merch, the caption of which said, "Radio Apple devotees, get your orders in." People immediately ran with this and said that the ship was now canon, and it sparked a lot of arguing. The post itself would later be taken down entirely and replaced with a similar announcement removing any mention of Radio Apple. Now That You're Gone. Now That You're Gone is an infamous fan animation of Helluva Boss created by animator Dwinny. The animation is about Stolas' grief over his breakup and falling out with Blitz. What makes the animation so infamous, however, is that the short itself ends with Stolas shitting himself in the most realistic way to the show possible, being an extremely sad and just brutal animation. Velvet is Carmine's daughter. A theory that was floating around during the days of Hazbin Season 1 that didn't really go anywhere was the theory that Velvet is the daughter, or at least a relative, of Carmilla Carmine, with the biggest reason behind this being that they have identical eyes, and also for Velvet's need to show her up. That was what the entire theory was based on. As time went on, though, the theory never had really any lasting staying power at all, but it is still just a fun theory to throw around and think about. Charlie's human feet. A few years before Hazbin Hotel would officially become a true thing, Charlie's merch featured a very strange oddity to them. The fact that all merch of Charlie portrays her with human feet. If you've ever seen the show, you would know that Charlie has goat-like hooves, because, you know, devil. But she didn't always, and these early merch designs are proof of that. Spindle Horse art theft. There's actually been a notable amount of times where fan art becomes identical to official merch that appeared later. On the Streamily page for Helluva Boss, it contained fan art created by Twitter user Ninja Haiku, or Haku. When Ninja brought this up on Twitter, the image was then changed with no announcement. Another example of this is the chibi pins created by artist Kodo456, who created these designs that would later have official chibi pins drop that looked almost identical in their designs. With the last big example being this Alistair pin, which was originally created in 2019 by artist Pest Fox, with an almost identical official version releasing a year later. However, both the chibi pins and the Alistair pin were really believed to just be nothing more than a huge coincidence. The Son of 666. The Son of 666 is regarded as Vivziepop's first finished animated short film, if you don't count like pencil sketches and whatnot. The short is about the zoophobia character Damien, and the short itself is actually her School of Visual Arts third year film created for school. The full animation can be found on YouTube. Exterminators in the pilot. In the trailer for the Hazbin Hotel pilot, this shot can be seen of the exterminators. However, when the final version of the pilot actually released, they're nowhere to be seen. It's believed to be due to the fact that they wanted the exterminators to be shrouded in just a bit more mystery before just being fully revealed way too early. Hazbin Hotspot. Hazbin Hotspot is a AI click farm channel on TikTok and YouTube that features AI voices of the characters having conversations with each other, primarily with Vox and Alice.
Get on Facebook Marketplace and look for wedding dresses that are being sold by women. Most likely that person is recently divorced, and the kinkiest part is you can filter by size.
What does the size of a wedding dress have to do with... Oh, now I see.
Unethical life hacks.
When you are running late on your hourly job, don't be a senseless dimwit and clock in late. What you'll want to do instead is wait for the end of the shift and tell your boss that you forgot to clock in.
Somebody would bring this up to Alistair's actual voice actor Amir and asked his thoughts on it. Amir obviously denounced all AI usage of his voice. Hazbin Hotspot themselves themselves would reply to this and dickishly say, "Does this mean we can't use Alistair's voice anymore?" This would lead to Hazbin Hotspot making an announcement video on their account saying that they will be retiring the AI Amir voice for the Edward Bosco version of Alistair, his voice from the pilot. Edward quickly was made aware of this and also denounced any AI usage of his voice. However, nothing really would come of this, and Hazbin Hotspot would simply just then post a picture of his YouTube play button and his analytics showing all the money he's made from these videos. Demon Adam. A theory that has slightly floated around is about the potential whereabouts of Adam after his death, and regarding did he simply die a permanent death or face damnation and is now in hell due to his bloodlust actions. When Serpentius died, he went to heaven and was redeemed, but Adam also died. So it's not super off the table to believe that he was sent to hell. Vivziepop would actually bring this up in an interview, saying that Adam is dead but may appear again, which he actually does in Season 2 as a hallucination that Lute has. But seeing him again physically isn't really crazy to believe. Alistair frowns. Alistair is known for his never-ending permanent smile. However, he actually does frown twice. For a single frame as he is speaking in this scene in the episode Hello Rosie, as well as this more debatable one in Season 2's finale when he just straight up doesn't smile when speaking to Vox. Children at conventions. One of the controversies and more uncomfortable oddities is when children show up to Helluverse conventions. One of the biggest examples of this was when a 9-year-old child came up to ask the voice actors a question regarding sex scenes in the show. It sucks because you can't really blame the kid because they're 9 and they're just having fun, when in reality it's her stupid fucking parents for actually allowing her to even do this, let alone to bring her to a convention dedicated to an adult series. Vivziepop would state on Twitter that she wishes that conventions themselves would have more responsibility and simply just not allow children in. Mirage. Mirage is one of the examples that Vivziepop haters use when criticizing her, and it kind of makes sense. The character Mirage is an OC created by Vivziepop of her series Zoophobia. The controversial part is that Mirage is very much listed as being a pedophile character. The problem with this isn't really so much the fact that a villain does villainous shit, like being a pedophile, but more about how Vivziepop treats it. Mainly being in one post where she states that Mirage would absolutely love Kestrel in her sick pedo way, XD, just making an obviously major serious thing come off nothing more than just a quirky little fun trait, which is just kind of weird, you gotta admit. And alright, my boy, so, by the way, if you leave at any point during now to the end, you're a loser. Sorry, I don't make the rules. That's just you. I'll be quick, don't worry. But I do just want to say thank you for watching my little Vivziepop Iceberg. If there's anything in this that I just got wrong or any corrections that you would like me to make, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll either pin them or just make a corrections myself. If you like my kind of iceberg content, I post one every 2 weeks or so. That's kind of what I try to do, and there will be a new one in about another 2 weeks. As well as I have a playlist of all of the other icebergs I made that you can just find on my channel. But with that being said, I'm ending it off right there. So if you enjoyed this kind of content, then the buttons are down there. You know what to do, and have a good one. So goodbye. See ya!
Papa, did you know that the Mario Kart Wii soundtrack for the song Grumble Volcano is just the song in Mario Galaxy? Whenever you go to Freeze Flame Galaxy, it's the same thing, but at a different speed.
Yeah, I knew that. I've known that for years. In fact, I was involved in getting some of that stuff done.